بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Inshallah ta'ala, this is our second part in our new series learning the correct Aqeedah of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Last time we explained that Tawheed, which is the most important thing in our deen and in the Aqeedah, is divided into two main parts: Tawheed al-rububiyyah and Tawheed al-uluhiyyah. In this video, inshallah, today we're going to talk about the first one, Tawheed al-rububiyyah. Tawheed al-rububiyyah means that we believe in the oneness of Allah, His names and attributes, and the description of Allah, which we of course have only one source to get it from, which is the Quran and Hadith, the al-Asma and al-Sifat. So this is Tawheed al-rububiyyah, meaning I learn about my Creator. He is the all-hearing, the all-knowing, the most wise, the most merciful. All these are the names of Allah and His attributes. Tawheed al-rububiyyah can be summarized in Surah Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Surah Ikhlas. And one of the companions, he used to love reading the surah so much, even every rak'ah he reads Qul Huwallahu Ahad. And when the Prophet ﷺ asked him why he was doing that, he answered by saying that it's a surah that I really love, and that's why he recites it in every rak'ah. And the Prophet ﷺ told him that Allah loves you because you love Qul Huwallahu Ahad. So the Tawheed, we can find it in Ayat al-Kursi, we can find it in Surah al-Fatiha. All these ayat and chapters in the Quran that talk about Allah Himself. This is called Tawheed al-rububiyyah. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, as-Sami', He is all hearing, al-Basir, He is all seeing. And of course, when we give Allah any of the attributes, we have to have a proof from the Quran or the Hadith of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and we say that it is in accordance to Allah's greatness. Because I can hear too, and I can see, but I can hear as a creation. I can hear as a human being. So my hearing has limits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hearing is according to Him being a God. So that's why we cannot say that there is any kind of comparison between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His creation. He is the creator and we are His creation. And لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ, there is nothing like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ, there is nothing like Him. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ, He's all hearing, all seeing. And He says in Surah Al-Insan, talking about the human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ نَبْتَلِيهِ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا. We made the human being سَمِيعًا بَصِير. He's hearing, He's able to hear and He's able to see. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is سَمِيعًا بَصِير and the human being is سَمِيعًا بَصِير. The difference is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His hearing and His vision is according to Him being a God. My hearing and vision is according to my limitation of being a human being. So anytime we talk about Allah's attributes and names, we have to remember that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relates to Himself, we take that and we leave it as is. So in other words, when we say Allah is all hearing, that means how can He hear? We don't know any of that. All we know that Allah is Sami' and Basir. And this is very important for us to know when we talk about the attributes and the names of Allah. We have to be very critical that we leave it the way Allah and His Messenger left it. So if Allah did not tell us, we can't just think about it or extrapolate and conclude and say, this is what I think. The Aqeedah has no room for ijtihad. There is no room for extrapolation. We just follow the Quran and Hadith. So this is in a summary, the Tawheed al-rububiyyah is to learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names and attributes. Inshallah, in the second or the next video, we'll talk about Tawheed al-uluhiyyah, and what it means, inshallah.